Hello my lovelies, I thought I'd do another video here and show you how I make war water. So this is just a simple way of making it. I love to make it this way and it always works good for me. So what you're going to need is, hold on a minute, let me just put it up a tiny bit. Right, so what you're going to need is you're going to need a big huge jar, or you can use a bottle, whatever you want. So I'm using a jar, and the stuff, it's simple stuff that you can put into it. People go elaborate with their war water, and some people just make it whichever way they want to. But I only use like 1, 2, 3, 4 things, well 5 things obviously because I need the water as well. So first things what I use is I use rusty nails here. I use these. So I have 3 rusty coffin nails here. So I use these for my war water here. What war water is used for is you could sprinkle it around the perimeter of your home for protection, or if you're wanting an enemy to go away from you and leave you, you would sprinkle some on their door handle so that when they touch it, things go to war basically. Just everything turns to shite basically in their lives. Like I said, you can use it for protection of your home, sprinkle it around the perimeter of your home to protect from enemies and any witchcraft that's been put upon you. You can basically use it for anything, for protection, like I said, use against your enemies and to protect your home as well. So I'm going to do now is I'm going to use these 3 here, these 3 coffin nails. So I like to put these into the bottom of my jar here. So they're in here. You want rusty nails basically. And if you don't have any rusty nails, get some nails. This is how you can rust them. Get some nails and stick them in water and put them out into the sunlight for a few days, and then you will notice that they will start to rust, and that's basically how you do your rusty nails. But I bought these rusty nails anyway, these coffin nails, from somebody. So like I said, sometimes people say make war water on a Tuesday because it's ruled by Mars, and it's known as Mars water as well. To make on a Tuesday, but I like to make it whenever I want to make it basically. But yeah, so what's in here, like I said, I've got 3 big rusty coffin nails. Or you don't have to use coffin nails at all. You can use any rusty nails that you have and it'll work. If you have some iron oxide powder, you could even put that in there, but don't put too much if you have it. Just put like a tiny little, like maybe your thumb, the size of your thumbnail, because that stuff dyes all kinds of stuff. So if you have any iron oxide, you can put just a pinch of that in there and it'll turn it bright red. But I haven't got none at the moment, so that stuff went missing when I moved to this new house. So I might need to order some anyway. But if I had some iron oxide, I'd just put like a tiny weeny pinch into that to make it more irony, if you know what I mean. But like I said, iron oxide is very, very, it dyes everything. So make sure you only put a tiny, and I mean just a tiny little pinch. Like I said, the amount of your thumbnail, that's it. That's all you'll need of iron oxide in there if you're going to use that. You don't have to use it, but if you're going to use a bit of iron oxide, put like maybe a thumbnail amount into the jar, because yeah, it's mental. When I say from personal experience, that shit gets everywhere. So yeah, yeah, and it dyes everything. But yeah, like I said, I put the 3 rusty nails in here. Like I like to use Spanish moss as well. Here, I like to put some Spanish moss inside my war water, because it's like makes it all swampy and horrible. So I like to stick that in there. My Spanish moss. I love Spanish moss. You can use some Spanish moss for everything, for filling doll babies and stuff like that. I also like to use graveyard dirt, so I'm going to use some graveyard dirt as well here. So I'm using graveyard dirt as well. So now it's starting to look like this here. So the next thing that I love to use in my war water is vandal root, which is also known as valerian root. And if you have ever smelt a valerian root, a vandal root, you will know how much that shit stinks. And I mean, it stinks. Put it this way, it makes you gag because it smells so putrid. It smells like, basically, shite. It really, really badly stinks. It's horrible. It's, if you could imagine cat poo, dog poo, horse manure, human feces mixed together, that is what it smells like, and it is in here. It really stinks. So, and it is really bad. It bloody stinks like hell. So I'm going to put some of this vandal root into here as well, because I like to use that as well. So the remainder of what's in this here, I'm going to put some in here. Like I said, vandal root is so stinky, and we want the war water to be stinky anyway, don't we? Because it's war water. We want to cause war and destruction and what have you. Trust me, if you have this in your, if you put this in your witchy cabinet, make sure you like triple bag it, because it fucking reeks. It stinks your cupboards out, and I'm not bullshitting it. I mean it. Oh my god, it really does stink. It's really bad, and I'm not exaggerating at all. If any one of the witches out there know, we know how bad this shit stinks, and I mean it stinks. It's horrible. It's horrible, horrible stuff. Like I said, it's called valerian root, also known as vandal root. So yeah, oh my god, it really does, it's bad, it stinks. But I've got it powdered formed, so I'm going to put that much into here, vandal root. And this is wow, and that's basically the ingredients that I like to use. Like I said, it really just stinks. You want to wash your hands thoroughly, otherwise people's going to think like you've been handling shit, basically. So now, that is what I've got in the jar. Like I said, I've got the 3 coffin nails. Like I said, you don't need to use coffin nails. You can use any rusty nails at all. Just shove them in your jar. Along with the Spanish moss and valerian root, also known as vandal root. And then what you're going to do is, if you live near a swamp, not many of us live near a swamp, because obviously I'm in England, we don't have swamps over here. If you live near a swamp and you're in the USA or wherever you are, get some swamp water and put it in here. If not, get some storm water. If you can collect water from the storm that's happened, put it in here. Otherwise, just use regular river water, or some people use tap water, but I don't use tap water. But I'm using rainwater here. Rainwater that I collected a while back, that I've had in a big jar, that I like to put it outside and stuff. So I've got rainwater here that came down pretty bad actually, but yeah, I'm using that, and we're going to put that in here. But like I said, if you have a swamp near you, collect some swamp water and put it in here, into this. Like I said, some people use tap water, some use spring water, some people use river water, or rainwater. Storm water is good as well. So I'm going to put this water in here now and fill it up here. And this is our war water here. So what you're going to do now is you are going to cap it off here. And what you're going to do is you're going to stick this outside in the backyard, if you have a backyard, or you could stick it, if you live in an apartment, put it on the balcony, somewhere where the sun's going to hit it, basically. I'm going to shake this up, hopefully it doesn't. And basically, like I said, how many times do I say basically? I always say that word, but yeah, I was going to say it again then. But yeah, you want to leave this outside in the backyard where the sun can hit it, because we're wanting the sun to rust up even more, if you know what I mean, get the sun to it, what have you. I would leave it outside for about 3 days so the sun gets to it. And then what you want to do is, you want to put it in a really, really dark place. You could cover it with tin foil if you wanted to, but or you could just put it somewhere dark. Like if you have a shed in your backyard, you could put it in there. Somewhere, you just want it to be really dark, really, really dark. Leave it there for 2 to 3 weeks, like I said, and then you can use it, obviously. Like I said, what you could use this for, you can use it for sprinkling a bit around the perimeter of your home for protection from the evil eye, protection from your enemies, and protection from witchcraft, or any kind of, like, any witchcraft or voodoo or anything that's being put upon you. It'll protect you from it. So this is what I like to use around the perimeter of my home. Like I said, if you have enemies and you know where they live, obviously do it when they're not around, obviously. You want to sprinkle a bit on their doorstep or on their door handle or wherever, or whatever. So when they touch it, it will create war in their lives. So yes, I did do a video a while back of war water, but this is an updated video of war water here. So as you can see how dirty and dingy it looks absolutely disgusting. But trust me, keep the lid on, do not take it off. Right, every day you're wanting to shake this up here to get everything all in it. And trust me, after 3 weeks, when you take the lid off it, trust me, this stuff bloody stinks. And I mean, it stinks. Like I said, like you wanted to put war in someone's life. You want to put a stink. That's what we're wanting, a stink in their lives. I like to use this in my breakup jars to cause war between each other. I like to use war water for that. But this is my war water. This is how I make it. I'll tell you the ingredients again. Like I said, I use the 3 large coffin nails. Like I said, you don't need coffin nails. You can use any rusty nails, like I said. I use Spanish moss. I also use graveyard dirt. And this is the thing as well. If you're collecting graveyard dirt, please, for the love... Oh my gosh, seriously. Please do not just randomly take it from a grave. Please, please, please do not do that. Because that is just not right at all. If it's from your ancestors, yes, ask them first. For gosh sake, please ask your ancestors first. If you're going to their graveside, please ask them first. Always, when you go into a graveyard, always ask the spirits of the graveyard. Leave 3 pennies at the graveyard gate when you go in, and leave an offering of 3 pennies as well at the grave where you get the graveyard dirt from, and also leave 3 pennies on the way out. So make sure you take some coins with you. Because you want to, what's the word? I can't get that. That's why I brain fart. You want to, I can't get the word out. No, I've forgotten it. But yeah. Seriously, I've forgotten the bloody word. What I'm going to say. Yeah, like I said, when you go into a graveyard, if you're going to collect graveyard dirt, put 3, that's the way, honour the spirits and give them an offering. Because you don't want them coming back with you. So, after you've been, like I said, when you go to the graveyard, leave 3 pennies and say thank you to them. And then if you're going to your ancestors' grave, I should say, Always ask them first if you can take it. Don't just be taking family members' graveyard dirt from their grave, because it's not right at all. You always want to ask first. I always say this to people, always ask first. Do not just take, because that is very, very rude and inconsiderate, and it's not nice. Like I said, if it's from your ancestors, ask. Always leave an offering when you've done it, or you always ask the spirit first of the grave if you can take it. If you get the feeling of no, do not take it. For God's sake, do not take it. And then, like I said, on the way out, always leave an offering as well. Like if you're getting it from a family member, and their favourite alcohol was rum, you would leave them maybe a little shot of rum and 3 pennies in there. Like I said, always leave an offering to the spirits. Like I said, 3 pennies when you come in, 3 pennies on the grave that you get it from. Always ask, like I said, leave another offering, and then also 3 pennies on the way out, and always say thank you to the spirits of the graveyard. And then what you want to do is you want to come home and you want to do a cleansing. Cleanse yourself with Palo Santo, or have a spiritual bath, always after you've been to the graveyard to pick up graveyard dirt, because you don't want any spirits around you or any negative influences on you. So I always like to condone people not to go to the graveyard and just take from any willy-nilly graveyard, because that's not right. You always, for God's sake, always ask and always give an offering, because it's disrespectful, sorry, to the spirits of the graveyard. So I just wanted to get that across, because it's not right just taking it from a graveyard without leaving an offering and asking the spirits if you can take it. You know what I mean? Because I don't like things like that. And people will be like, oh no, something's happened and this and that. I'm like, well, did you leave an offering? Did you say thank you? Did you ask? No. Well, what do you expect? You know what I mean? So, like I said, this is the wall water. You can put this in your backyard for 3 days, or 2 to 3 days, and let the sun get to it. And then afterwards, you want to put it in a dark place, like I said, for at least 2 weeks. And then after 2 weeks, actually go in every day and shake it up. But after 2 weeks, use it, because it'll be really stinky and stagnant, and it'll be horrible. And that's how, what you use. You can use it in your breakup work. You could rub a bit. Make sure when you use it though, to use gloves, because you'll have it all over your hands. If you're using war water on candles, make sure you wear gloves, because it's going to get on you. And after you've used war water, make sure you do a cleansing afterwards, because you don't want no war on you. Like I said, just sprinkle it around the perimeter of your home for protection. Use it on your enemy's doorstep if you want to cause war and havoc in their life. And like I said, you can use it for all kinds of stuff. So I hope you enjoyed this video and the information that I gave you. And I will get back soon with some other videos. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next, but this is the wall water, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you all have an awesome and blessed day, and bright blessings to you. Bye.